Good day, sages. Welcome to Lore Academia. I am DMPaulG. I'm a D&D adventure writer, D&D TT for RPG adventure writer, mostly for Adventures League, which is the D&D 5th edition organized play system. And I'm also one of the storyline coordinators for the Moonshae Isles here at Balman Games, together with Savannah Houston McIntyre. Yes. Wow, we have been very productive this week. We finished the Moon 3 series, and today we're starting Moon 4. So I think this is not connected to the Moon 3 series because from what I saw on the cover, we're going back to like level 1 to 4 adventure. So, but I'm excited. We'll see what's in this trilogy. So, for those who are new here, first time watching the stream or joining us in the stream, what do we do here? Do we play Dungeons and Dragons? We do, but not on stream. Here, what we do here is we read adventures, we read ancient scrolls, any source books, or anything that we can use to anything that where we can extract lore about for at this moment where any lore about the Moonshae Isles basically. So right now we're going through the Rising Shadows storyline, which is basically the latest set of adventures that happen in the Moonshae Isles. The Moonshae Isles is a group of islands west of the Sword Coast, where Baldur's Gate, Waterdeep, and Neverwinter, all those good locations in the Forgotten Realms. If you go west of that, you'll see the Moonshae Isles. And why are we doing that? Because these information, the lore that we extract from these adventures, I can use that to create new stories for everyone and make sure that the future stories and adventures that we create for you here at Balman Games will be lore accurate as much as possible. And that's why we're trying to get all the information that we can about the Moonshaes. This is basically my job, but I figured, hey, somebody else might be too busy to play these games or not in the mood to or can't find the players to play all of these adventures. You could just go ahead and listen and to find out what happened in these adventure modules. Yes. But before we start, I just want to say, because today is going to be a busy day. Yes. Why? Because not only are we starting with Moon 4 series, we are later, like tomorrow morning here in the Philippines, and then tonight, Eastern time, we're having this. Our first ever Lore Academia special. Hey, Ninja Girl. Hey, glad that you're here. Yes, but anyway, going back, yeah, we're having our first ever Lore Academia special. Finally, and I'm shocked with the hair DM. Yes, in order to gain some knowledge about the Forgotten Realms, things need to be sacrificed. And at this point, I've sacrificed a lot of hair for it. The Balman sacrifice. I hope this is enough. All the hair that I sacrifice in exchange for knowledge, I hope that is enough. Okay. Well, I still have a little bit of hair left. But yeah, later tonight, Eastern time, we'll have JP Chaplow, which is the Moonshae Isles writing director for the D&D 4E Living Forgotten Realms. Before 5th edition, we have these adventures set in the Moonshae Isles. We went through them during our previous stream, and all of us, I think we all agree that at least the ones who were there, that JP Chaplow is like one of the best, if not the best author um, in those sets of adventure. And we're always excited whenever we see his name because we know it's gonna be good, right? And he has a lot of lore that he can share with us, a lot of answers to our questions. And when we went through those 4E adventures, and yeah, I'm excited and nervous at the same time because it's the first time I'm doing an interview, and I don't know if everything will work. So you have to help me out because we might have video issues, mic issues, audio stuff going on. We'll see. I need your help, sages. If we're going to extract a lot of lore from this high sage, I need your help. But yeah, so that's happening later, 7:30 p.m. EST. That's gonna be Friday, 8:30 a.m. Manila. All right, that is it. Yeah, we're all. I need chat to be tech support later. Okay, so that's that. Here, we're going to start Moon4-1. What is happening here? Hello, hello, Fallen Basis. Welcome, welcome. Yes, tech support tonight or later, depending on what time zone you're in. It's hard. All right, we need like a lore academia time zone, right? So we know should it always be like the sun is always up during lore academia stream. We'll figure it out. All right, one of these days we'll figure that out. Anyway, let's go and start this. Where are we? Okay. I don't know if you can hear the dogs barking, but there are like people running outside and like dogs are just chasing them. Is that normal here? Yeah, it is. Uh, but yeah, just the midnight travelers. But yeah, we have yeah. Consider my place like Moray. Yeah. Hello, nice to meet you. Nice to see that you're here. Yeah. A lot of now all the dogs are angry. But yeah, think of it as like the background. In a tavern outside, dogs are there, um, eating leftovers, whatever, and us we're enjoying tales of each adventure as we start this new trilogy. Precious Cargo, written by Cindy Moore. Okay. The name sounds familiar, but I'm not sure if we worked together already. But the name sounds very familiar. Um, uh, if we know each other and then I suddenly forgot, oh man, I'm gonna be in big trouble. But anyway, let's go through this. So the Caravan Masters. Oh, we're not gonna be sailing, I think, because we have caravans here. Caravan Masters need to protect their cargo going to Caer Calidir. It is a long trek from Kitis to the capital of Alaron, wrought with danger from mercenaries loyal to Okay. Adventures are needed to eliminate these threats so the caravans don't need to contend with these formidable foes. It is a 4-hour D&D Adventures League adventure, which you can also play as a part of your home game or homebrew adventure for first to fourth level characters, brought to you by Ballman Games. So there you go. This is part of the Moon4 adventure. So this is a trilogy. This is the first one in it. Okay. Let's go and dig in. And again, if this is your first time here, first time of you hearing dogs barking or like motorcycles passing by, again, welcome to Lore Academia. And can't do anything about that uh, unless I change location, which will not happen anytime soon. But here in the stream, we technically just skip through all the technical stuff, combat encounters, any suggestions for adventure, anything that where we're not gonna be able to extract as much, or we're not gonna be able to extract any lore at all. So at times, since we're sages, some of us write adventures. Sometimes we're gonna tackle if we see something interesting here, like writing methods, design process, combat encounters, things like that. We're gonna talk about it, but not as much as the lore. Okay, so sometimes we're gonna skip through parts of the adventure. There. So that's why we're gonna start here in the adventure primer, the adventure background. So Kitis lies on the southern tip of the island of Alaron in the Moonshae Isles. Its major port, attracting trade from all over the Moonshae. I'm seeing the pronunciation here. It is Kitis, right? How do you pronounce K-I-E? Is it Kai? Kaitis? K-I-E. Kai. Alright. Right now, which one sounds better? Kaitis? Kitis? Kaitis sounds better, actually. It feels like this is kite without a T. Yeah. Yeah, right? I think it's more of Kai, right? So we're gonna go with Kaitis. I think that sounds better. Yeah. So we'll go with Kaitis. All right. The town has also attracted nefarious individuals seeking to take advantage of the town's prosperity. Which is a mercantile nation further down the Sword Coast, has developed great influence over the leaders of Kaitis. Lamau to put IE in pronunciation guy when IE has so many different pronunciation. Yeah. Because I think these are just like yeah, I know they're trying to help us, but these are not like the correct way to enunciate or like how to spell it out, like the pronunciation guides. But these are like the amateur version of pronunciation guides, because I do it too. So that's why I know. But yeah, I know the intentions are well, but yeah. This is hard. We have to figure this out. It's a save day. So we're gonna go with Kaitis because that sounds cooler. Anyway, has a lot of control over the people in Kaitis. And this allows for mercenaries to offer protection to the townsfolk without having to deal with the interference of the local authorities. Lady Eliza Darrison, okay, the Viceroy of Westfall, a town on the Isle of Snowdown, has gained leverage over the mercenary leaders of Kitis. If you played the new Malefic Delusions adventures in Winter Fantasy, then Lady Eliza Darrison may be a familiar NPC to you all. Alright. But anyway, by doing so, she has turned the town into a virtual client state of The forces of House Kendrick are spread thin throughout Alaron, contending with the Dark Fae forces in the Durnal Forest, and unable to help the townsfolk of Kaitis. To make matters worse, the Fae of the Durnal Forest have also come to an agreement with Lady Eliza. Oh. The Viceroy has befriended a green hag and come to a mutually beneficial partnership. The hag, Granny, has directed her troop of Dark Fae to attack caravans traveling the High King's Road. In exchange, she will receive the help of in her fight against the forces of Caer Caladir. Bravo. I don't know why I'm cheering. She's the villain. Lady Erliza saw an opportunity to expand her protection racket outside of Kytus and has her mercenaries offer protection to caravans traveling along the road out of Kytus, increasing her influence and profits. Wow, that is evil. Uh, all right, I'm gonna befriend a hag, go attack these caravans, and then me, seeing this as a business, let me offer you my mercenaries to get protection if you want to cross the King's Road or just around it, and make sure you don't get attacked. If you pay me money. The Alliance has left High King Darid of House Kendrick desperate, fearing that is increasing its influence over major towns on the island of Alaron. With no help coming from the crown, caravan leaders traveling across Alaron have resorted to finding help on their own. Okay, I'm liking this. So let's see. So who do we have? We have another Rustfire here. Let's update our NPC lists in our notes. So we have... Oops, what the heck happened? Baron... Oh, single R. Barend... Rustfire is a merchant from the Rustfire clan of dwarves in the Fairheight Mountains. Where were you when the Fairheight Mountains were attacked? All right, are you selling your wares? He travels up and down the High King's Road, selling the wares of the clan to the island of Alor. Yep, that's what he was doing. All right. Merchant. War from the Fairheight range. Alright. That's why he skipped the Moon4-1 series. And then we have Lady Erliza Darrison. Okay. Alright. I like the pronunciation guide here. Erliza Darrison. Okay. Yep. And Lady Erliza Darrison is the Viceroy of Westfall, the largest town in Snowdown. She wields much influence over the merchants of Kytus by using her agents to offer protection to them. All right. All right. She's from so. And then we have Granny, who is a green hag and resides in a tower in the Durnal Forest. Who lives in a tower in Durnal Forest. Okay. Granny has allied with the Viceroy of Westfall, Lady Erliza Darrison, and has her minions attack caravans leaving Kytus. And then our places will be Kytus, which is a port town south of Alaron. And then we have the Durnal Forest as well. Right? Where Granny lives. Okay. So we have that. Let's look at our super advanced map. Right now. There we go. We have this. And oh man, the dogs are angry today. The dogs are angry today. Here is Kytus right now. And this is the High King's Road, as you can see, being followed. Kytus. And then this is the Durnal Forest. Okay. And the hiking road leads all the way up to Caer Calidir, the seat of power of the High King of the Folk, High King Darid Kendrick. All right. And the folk, double F, OLK, is basically what you call the locals here in the Moonshae. They're also the group of settlers of humans here. So yeah, I kind of use that like in like in both terms. You have like the human settlers in the Moonshae Isles, and also just in general like the locals of the Moonshae, call them the folk. And so this is what's happening. What I want you to see as well is that Kittis is under the influence of is like all the way. You see Sea of Swords here to the east. If you continue east, we're gonna reach the Sword Coast, and you go like a bit south of that. In the continent of Faerun, you'll have the merchant nation of Okay, and going back here to the Moonshae Isles, if we go further south, we'll reach the Isle of Snowdown. And it says here that in this adventure that Lady Erliza is the viceroy of Westfall. So right here, what you need to know is that Snowdown is basically has been colonized by the nation of All right. So this property, this island, King Caladir really doesn't have any influence, any control of whatever happens in this island. This is all the Arms own this isle. Okay. And Lady Erliza Daracin is kind of like the leader, or the one that's kind of making sure that it stays that way, or the influence of will extend even more isles here in the Moonshaes. Okay, there. And then what else do we have here? So now that that's clear, that's what's happening. If I'm right, there's Snowdown and also Port Nyanzaru in Cholt. That's those two are like the colonies of But after the events of Tomb of Annihilation, like when that book was released, I think no longer controls Port Nyanzaru. So it's just Snowdown now. Okay. All right. So you can see the influence. So they're starting to grow their influence from here in Snowdown. They're trying to go to another island, and then hopefully in the future they can take over the Isle of Alaron, and then the Moonshaes, the whole Moonshaes after that. Okay, so that's the what's happening in the Moonshaes setting wise. Oops, where is that map? There you go. Going back in the adventure, what do we have? Okay. We have 3 parts in this adventure. We'll see if it's short. So the characters meet with Baron Rusfire in Kaitis concerning a matter that is hampering business and trade along the High King's Road. They also run into some enforcers who don't like outside mercenaries, helping protect caravans leaving the town. Caravan is met with opposition close to Regent's Field, and after defeating the welcoming party, the characters are able to, through questioning or following a trail, find where Granny is hiding. And the characters find Granny's Tower. Also, we're going to go to the forest, Granny's Tower, and eliminate those that are guarding it. Upon defeating Granny, the characters also save some local children that were being held prisoner in the tower. Okay. Good stuff. So part 1. Welcome to Kittis. Not Kittis. Kaitis. Keep forgetting. The main streets of Kaitis are paved with cobblestone, whereas other streets are packed dirt. The streets are soft from the recent rain. The docks, there's always like bad weather here in the Moonshae Isles. The docks are primarily wood and extend to the warehouse areas. Late spring, comfortable temperature where a cloak is not necessary. Along the docks, there's a refreshing breeze coming from the ocean, making it significantly cooler there. And the sun shines brightly. That is like the opposite of what I just said. That sounds like a good weather. It looks like Kaitas is having a good weather. I just said like it's always bad. Like always have like bad weather here in the Moonshaes. But yeah. Kaitas is a very busy town. Sounds of people talking and vendors peddling their wares. Smells of freshly cooked food on the streets and salt air along the docks. Nice. I like that. So in Kaitas, what do we have? As we arrive in Kaitas, the southernmost town in the Isle of Alaron, Kaitas has developed into quite a center of trade in the Moonshaes. We're not going to look at Appendix 3A because we already look at our map, right? So we know where we are in the island. We know where Snowdown is. We know where Cair Caladir is at. And we know where Durnal Forest is located as well. Okay. But as we start, we have a box text which we read to our players. If you're the Dungeon Master, and it goes like this. You have arrived via ship in Kaitas, the bustling southernmost town on the island of Alaron in the Moonshae Isles. The docks are alive with the sound of dock hands working, foremen shouting orders, and the noise of the water lapping the wooden docks. You've been directed to the rusty matron to meet with Baron Rustfire, a dwarven merchant of Clan Rustfire in the Fair Height Mountains. Arriving at the popular inn and tavern, you find it quite busy with the afternoon meal being served. Looking around, you see a dwarf dressed in casual attire. As you catch eyes with the dwarf, he waves you over to the table. You make your way to the table and sit down with him. I hope your travels were uneventful and pleasant. I'm Baron Rustfire. Would you like something to quench your thirst and fill your bellies? And yes, I would like. Actually, I'm a bit hungry right now. What's the name of the tavern? Rusty Matron. Tavern in a tavern in Kaitas. Okay. Why do I take notes of these places? Because again, like you go to Alaron, I tell you a different tavern, but sometimes it's good, you know, if you go back to the same place and meet the same NPCs, and just a good callback to like previous adventures as well. This will be a great time to do character introduction. We get foods and drinks. I will get my soda as well. And what information do we gain after talking to our dwarven merchant? Where'd that question come from? We have another chat stream. No, I don't. I'm just answering questions in my head. I'm just imagining that there are questions happening. I'm just assuming that people will ask, like those who are just watching will ask these questions, so I just answer them. Yeah, I have another chat stream in my head, yeah, with my imaginary viewers. So yeah, Kaitas has basically been under the control of for quite some time. The Viceroy of Westfall, Lady Eliza Darisin, has bribed mercenaries to offer protection to the merchants and citizens of the town in order to control its people and economy. He believes that some of the town watch has been influenced by the Viceroy. Some gold coins. Lady Eliza has recently made a pact with some fey creatures in the Durnal Forest near Regent's Field. Her idea is to make the trek to Cair Caladir so wrought with danger for traveling merchants that they will pay for protection outside of the town as well. Barent believes that if the fate threat is eliminated, Lady Erliza will have no leverage and will have to give up that plan altogether. Barent has a caravan that is leaving tomorrow for Cair Caladir. He would like for the adventurers to accompany him to investigate and rid the High King's Road to this threat. Okay. So we have this evil scheme by Lady Erliza, which not only does she get to harass these merchants, she also profits from it. Okay. Characters with certain passive perception notice that a group of rough-looking individuals are watching our exchange with this dwarf merchant, and the rowdies immediately leave if seen. Okay, so if we notice them, they leave. Okay. If we engage them as adventurers, the rowdies won't start trouble. Explain that they were admiring our equipment, and once outside, they disappear into the night. If the party forces a fight, use the encounter from scene B below, and Barent is leaving early the next day and asks the party to meet him at a warehouse along the docks, to which he gives directions. Okay. All right then. The next morning, as we mind our own business, we make our way to the warehouse to meet up with the caravan when an unplanned meeting delays them. All right. What happens here? The streets of Kaitis are just starting to wake as you make your way to the warehouse from which Barent is leaving. You find yourself on a quiet street just a few blocks from your destination when men come out of an alley and block your way. Looking behind you, you see more men coming out of a different alley, blocking that way as well. You visitors should keep out of business. What? Take two. You visitors should keep out of the business of the town. There are enough people to provide protection for folks. The market is flooded, and you need to leave now. Oh, since we're offering protection for our new friend, this is basically, yeah, where we're being like competition to Lady Erliza's business. Oh, I'm seeing it now. Okay, I get it. Okay. You're offering actual protection instead of quote unquote protection. Yep. But yeah, we're competition now. I see it. Yeah. So that's what's happening. The menacing figures are two spies. All right, so bandit scouts, and they're under the influence of the Viceroy of Westfall. They're the ones that we saw last night at the what's that place? Rusty Matron. Okay. And then we fight them, and then after we fight them, when the enemies have lost half of their hit points, they run away. If we pursue them, they run to a member of the Town Watch, trying to delay us so they can escape. And we can make a athletics acrobatics check to catch one of the enemies before they reach the Town Watch. If we're successful in catching an attacker, can we interview them, or not interview? Can we interrogate them? All right, I think we can. The rowdies were told to keep the characters from arriving at their destination, while another group shook down Barent Rusfire. Oh no. Another group should be at the warehouse right now, trying to take our job. Wow. You're not gonna take my gold coins. Nope. No, sir. If the characters are unsuccessful in pursuing the attackers, they're stopped by the Town Watch, and most of the town's law enforcement is under the influence of Lady Erliza, of course. but with persuasion check to keep them from being harassed by the authorities. But bribing the watch with 1 gold or more gives advantage on the roll. The watch stalls the characters until their opponents have gotten away. And we may try to run from the authorities, and we'll be successful if we try. The town watch won't pursue. Well, we can bribe them with just 1 gold piece. How much is Lady Eliza paying them? Like, her cost here is not that much, you know? If we can bribe a town watch for 1 gold piece, it's making a lot of money. And then the merchants had to pay for protection. Imagine if they're paying like 5 gold or... Well, let's see how much Bernard is willing to pay us. Awkward arrival. We finally make it to the warehouse from which the caravan will leave. When we arrive, Barrett is in an argument with a group of mercenaries. You arrive at Barrett's warehouse to find him in a heated discussion with a group of what looks like caravan guards. I have my own protection, thank you very much. I won't be needing anything from the likes of you, said Barrett to a tall human looming over him. I don't see no one, says a scuffy-looking halfling from the back of the group. Barrett looks to the door and sees you enter and smiles wildly. There, you are wrong, my friend. He points to you. Here they are now. And the mercenaries look over at you and scowl simultaneously. Yeah, a GP is a day's wage for a merc work, so probably be fine for turning the eye for today for a gold. But yeah, let's see how much these merchants are paying for protection. Because so you deduct our expenses, bribing these town watch, paying mercenaries, and then how much do we get per protection scam that we're doing. The group of mercenaries won't start a fight, especially since those that were sent to deal with the characters were unsuccessful. They reluctantly leave, saying that next time Baron ought to hire locally, especially if he wants to stay in business. They're not locals, though. Oh, I think they're locals. The mercenaries are locals, but they're being paid by a foreigner. Wow. Too real. This is too real. Okay. If a party forces a fight, use the same encounter as seen be above. Okay. This time the mercenaries immediately flee, seeking out the town watch if necessary. Baron tells the characters that the interlopers were insisting that he hire them as protection on this trip. They told him that they heard the roads to Caer Caladir have been very dangerous as of late, and that they knew he had a lot of valuable goods. Baron fears that he is going to be targeted directly on this trip, which is why he hired us. Okay. So the system right now. So what is Lady Erliza's scam? Okay. So like a TLDR or a good summary. Lady Erliza befriended Granny from Durnal Forest and made a pact with her and the Dark Fade there, and asked them to harass merchants going through the High King's Road or around it. And the only way that these merchants will not get harassed or their goods stolen or worse, get killed, is if they hire protection. And you now have Lady Erliza has hired mercenaries, most probably local mercenaries here in Kaitis, to give that quote-unquote protection. All right? And the merchants now have to pay to get that protection so that their goods will not be stolen, they will not be attacked, or worse, get injured or killed. Okay, so that is the how should we call it, the high road scam. Let's go with that. That is the high road scam. High King Road scam. And We agree, of course, to help Bernard because we're good adventurers. And as the caravan, I think this is gonna be fast. Is this gonna be fast? Holy crap. Are we gonna be done in like an hour? We'll see. HKR scam. Yeah, there you go. You abbreviate it so it sounds more scammy. That's a word. But yeah, the HKR scam. All right. The caravan approaches the Durnal Forest and Regent's Field after an uneventful trip for several days along the High King's Road. Let's go back and look at the map. So where is this? Regent's Field is right here. Okay. So we started from... Oh, wow. That's long, actually. So from Kaitis, we actually passed the town of Llewellyn, and then we passed the town of Grady, and then Regent's Field. So near the Dornell Forest. All right. Oh, the High King's Road HKR goes through the forest. Look at it. It goes through like the edge of the forest. That's why it's dangerous. Okay. Wow. Who made this road? Why? Why didn't... And then it goes to like the capital of the of Alaron, of the Kingdom of Caladir. Why didn't you make the road here? Not really an edge if the scale is like 20 miles. Oh yeah, you're right, probably. But why? Okay. Yeah, so they go through the forest, but whoever built this road apparently thought that it's better to travel straight through the forest because it's gonna take less time to get to Caer Caladir. But you have to be careful of what happens in the Durnal Forest. Instead of making a safer path around the forest, who did they hire? Which company? All right, did they hire to build the High King's Road? Because I have some questions. All right, in terms of safety and stuff. Because if you're building a road here, like a merchant road here through the forest, you better have like hired, guards here as well. Because you know that bad things will happen in the forest. Like it's a good place for like bandits to stay and attack merchants or any travelers. What more with the Dark Fae, right? So whoever came up with this, I have questions. Anyway, going back. That's my 2 cents for that. Where are we? Half-packed dirt road, about 15 feet wide. On either side of the road are trees whose numbers are sparse at first, but increases as the Durnal Forest approaches in the distance. All right. We have that, and then what happens once we travel? Excuse me. And travel along the main road through the island of Alaron has been easy for the caravan. The weather has been cooperating, and there has been no sign of trouble from Fae or bandits. Good. Regent's Field, where you will stop for the day, is just an hour's ride down the road. The crew is looking forward to a day in civilization. Something up ahead, though, gives you cause to doubt that the way to your rest will be uneventful. A pair of creatures stand in the road ahead. They carry morning stars in their hands. They roar in challenge, and the horses reel back in fear. What do we have? An ambush has been laid out ahead by a group of Fae under the employ of Granny the Green Hag. 4 satyrs lie in wait at the forest edge as the caravan approaches a bend in the road. The creatures in the road are 2 bugbears being used as a distraction. Okay. If we have good passive perception, it allows the characters or us to see the satyrs hiding in the forest. They attack when one wagon has reached the bugbears on when a fight otherwise breaks out. Okay, and then we have a map for here, for this one, map 3C. So tricks of the trade is basically how the bugbears and the satyrs fight. We're not gonna go through that, and then some adjustments if you have like a strong party or a weak party. So we're gonna skip that. And then the characters may wish to interrogate a satyr. A successful charisma check convinces a satyr to divulge the following information. Granny sent them to attack this specific caravan and to bring prisoners to her. Granny is a hag that commands many fae in the diurnal forest and is the leader of a coven. Oh boy, that's dangerous. Granny resides in an abandoned tower about an hour's hike from where they are. They will tell the characters what path to follow if the characters let them live. And okay, so we know that this is where we find out about Granny. With any amount of searching in the woods near the road, the characters might find a path that leads further into the forest. Recent tracks indicate that the attackers came from that way, and Baron tells the characters that he and the caravan will wait at Regent's Field for them. He hopes that this is the break that is needed to rid the road of the Fey nuisance once and for all. If not, at least it will lessen the burden on the traveling merchants along the road. And then we get a potion of greater healing. Nice. Barrett gives us a freebie because we save him. Nice one. Oh, we're part 3 already? Oh, I think we're going to end fast today. Let's look at the map. Oh, I think that was short. 3B, mind your business. This is where we fight some mercenaries. That's a good map. And then the Hiking's Road. These are actually good maps. I like them. Like, you can save them as JPEG and then you can use them on your virtual tabletop. I'm guessing the dots is where the satyrs are hiding. Good stuff. Okay. And then let's go back. Lots of opportunities for roleplay. Yeah, I guess so, because this is a 4-hour adventure, supposedly. Let's finish. There's no like estimated duration and stuff of how long you run each part. Yeah, supposedly. But if this is really short, I think so far, part 1 and part 2, they're very lean. Information given is right away, and they tell you what to do, what happens, the complications that happens with it. We've been in 2 combat encounters so far, and then we've already learned about the situation as characters. We already learned about the situation of the merchants in the HKR scam, and then after part 2, we learn about Granny as well, and then part 3. Here we are. So very lean. Not a lot of extra stuff here, but I think I like that kind of design. That adventure design, because it makes it easier for a dungeon master to prepare this. This is for tier 1, so this is for level 1 to 4. This is actually a good adventure to run for level 1 to 4 characters, because it's just a basic, guard the caravan type of quest with some complications. Yeah. This definitely feels good for a tier 1 adventure. So anyway, we make our way to the diurnal forest and we get to Granny's house. All right. Skip the nonsense. entering the forest. You get right to Granny's house. We find more than what they bargained for, and we look at Appendix 3D for a map of Granny's house. And let's see. Her house, which is a tower, is an old and rickety structure. The stone walls are falling apart in places. The second story has many large holes in the walls. The sun shines bright. However, the canopy of the forest here blocks the harsh rays in this area. And outside, the sun provides bright light. Inside the tower is dim light, except on the second story, which has much of its walls gone. Tower is quiet, eerily so, and smells of rot and decay. Again, not a lot of fluff, not a lot of flavor. It's just, this is what you see, this is what you hear. That's it, you know. Again, I like it, especially if this is for like a low level, low tier adventure, because it's very easy to prepare, very easy to understand. If you're a new dungeon master, I think this is a good adventure to run. But I'm assuming because we're not yet done reading it. So let's continue. Let's look at the map. So what page is this? 8, and then let's look at the map first. So we know what we're looking at. Man, the maps are good. All right, so outer ranks. So this is the 4. So we have 1, 2 on the left side. There are cages and then stairs going up. And then 3, like the second floor. And then there's another floor after that where we meet Granny. So it's a 4-area map. And then that's it. Okay. 4-area map. Or tower. All right. Yeah, I like it. I like it so far. Like, even like the drawing on the map looks really good. Like, you can easily draw it on a grid map, right? If you have if you're playing face to face with your friends or at a local game shop, you can easily draw it. And also, I think you can just grab the JPEG, the photo from the PDF, and then save it as a JPEG, and then upload it to your VTT tool if you want to. Anyway, as we approach Granny's tower and find her minions fortifying it, the path you are following leads through the thick forest until it opens slightly ahead and reveals a structure. The rickety tower. Actually, you know what? I'm just pretending that I know what rickety means. So I'm gonna stop pretending anymore. Rickety.
Rickety.
Yeah, rickety, according to Google, means a structure poorly made, likely to collapse. Okay. Loose and gonna fall apart. Okay. New words. Structure. Oh, sorry. Loose and gonna fall apart. Does it refer to structures only? Where's that? Not really, or equipment as well. Okay. So any object, basically. Okay. So I can say like a rickety crossbow, something like that. Usually it's something built. Can I say can I use it like that? Like a rickety crossbow, like you have this rickety crossbow with you. Does that still make sense? So buildings, equipment, car. Okay. So bigger stuff. All right. So we just discovered a rickety mangonel or a rickety ballista. Crossbow works. Okay. Good to know. Okay, where were we? The rickety tower has many windows, which are only partially shuttered. The third story's windows are all completely shuttered. Okay. The stone and mortar surface of the tower has fallen off in several places, opening the inside to the elements. This is especially true on the second story of the tower, where a large portion of the wall is missing. Loitering outside the tower are goblin guards with wolves. One seems to be giving orders to the larger group. 6 goblins. You have to fight 6 goblins, 2 wolves, and a goblin boss. If you're a level 1 party, that might be a bit too much. So, a bit much, right? So, but, okay. Yeah, hope you got friends. I think with the adjustments, we can remove some goblins. But anyway, these are the Fae that we're going to fight. So the Fae goblins, and then with wolves. And then who's guarding the entrance of the tower. They have strict orders to not let anyone in the tower and to raise an alarm if they approach. Okay? And then we can see where the bell is located. We may avoid detection and surprise the goblins with stealth. Okay, that's good. So it's an introduction if you're new adventurers, new players to D&D. So the introduction of stealth and, creating a plan and not just fight your way through everything. This is a good introduction of that. So that's another plus for this adventure. And then characters can climb to the second story if they wish. So again, another option for the characters to do instead of just fight. The decay of the building makes the climb easy, requiring just athletics check made with advantage. Wow. Okay, this is good because it introduces, again, for new players, introduces skill checks, introduces that not all encounters should be resolved through combat. And this one actually has like more than one suggestion instead of, just fighting the goblins. That is good. I like it. Good job, Cindy. And then tricks of the trade. The goblins raises the alarm by ringing the bell, and then the rest attack us. The wolves attack a single creature in order. They have pack tactics. And then if the alarm bell is rung, the 4 goblins and 2 wolves who are resting on the bottom floor join and fight. Oh, so we got like reinforcements. Good luck to the party if you fight them, because you get like 4 additional goblins and 2 wolves. But yeah, if you're a weak party, like you're level 1, we can remove up to 4 goblins here, so that makes it easier, right? But anyway, inside the bottom floor, once we manage to get past that encounter, either climbing the second floor, oh no, we're not, because we're going to the bottom floor. So we get stealth our way and get to the first floor. What happens? The door to the tower is unlocked and opens easily. Inside is a square room with a set of stairs leading up to the second floor on the east wall. In the room are 2 cages with a single wolf inside. There are piles of straw throughout the room with bedrolls on them. Seated at a table at the opposite end of the room are 4 goblins. They quickly ready for battle. And again, they fight. The ones in the cages are wolves. Okay. So they release the wolves in the cages if fight occurs here. And then we adjust combat. There's a lot of combat here. So this is going to be the 3rd one, right? If we fight the goblins, this is going to be the 3rd one. Or if the fight outside and at the first floor is separate, that's going to be 4 combat encounters. Now I can see why it's this adventure is 4 hours. Yeah, not a lot of talking, adventuring, and getting info. It's more on you get to this place, you fight, or you try to get away from that fight. Okay. Area 3, next in line. Yeah, a lot of combat. On the second floor of the tower is filled with more of Granny's loyal followers. The steep stone stairs leading up end at a space which is barely protected from the elements. Large holes in the walls expose this level to the outside. Consistently being open to the rain has rotted parts of the wooden floor, leaving it somewhat uneven and unstable. On the opposite side of the room, another set of stairs lead upward to the top floor of the tower. You aren't alone on this level of the tower. Across the room, a group of hobgoblins and one goblin greet you, weapons drawn. Oh man, are we fighting again? There are 4 hobgoblins here. The goblin is actually a nilbog named Tez. Hi, Tez. Alright. For those who don't know what a nilbog is, if you like reverse the name nilbog, you get goblin. That's right. So they're kind of like goblins with magic. They're very fun monsters to use if you're a dungeon master. They aren't easily surprised. Okay, so the fighting dancer alerts them. Tez is a chaotic nilbog that has manic episodes quite frequently. When there are intruders on which to focus her mania, it's a bad thing for the intruders. Constant insults and chaos cause confusion in those that encounter this strange creature. It's a shame you have such a small mind to lose. I like this. There's a terrible 80s movie with the town of Nilbog. Oh, okay. Okay. Any creature climbing up the tower to enter through one of the many holes of the wall must succeed at a DC 20 stealth. That's high for level 1 to 4 characters. Usually you have like at max +5 to your stealth. In like from level 1 to when you're level 1 to 4. That's usually the bonus that you get. So you need to roll like a 15 or higher to succeed in this check. Rolling at a disadvantage if the alarm has been raised. Okay, so I think the intention here is, the author's intention here is you're not supposed to succeed in a stealth check here. All right? Unless you're really, really, really good. Like if you succeed, you deserve it. Okay. The floor and walls on this level are very unstable. Any area effect spell in this area may cause the floor to collapse. Then we go down to the bottom floor. Damage is also dealt to the floor. And if the floor... Oh, this is good. I like how the author designed this. If the floor sustains 50 points of damage, and then that part of the floor that is shaded on the map in Appendix 3D collapses. Each creature that's standing on that part of the floor must make a dexterity saving throw or fall to the level below. And if it's more than 10 feet, I'm assuming instead of D6, they take 1d10 bludgeoning damage. With a perception check, a character notices that the floor is weak and unable to sustain much damage to the area. This is good design because most authors or most dungeon designers just stop and say that the floor is weak and unstable. If it takes damage, then it might collapse. But they don't actually specify how and when it will collapse. Like, it's up to the DM to come up with, okay, if the floor takes this much damage or there's this much weight on this area, then the floor collapses. It's usually up to the DM. But here, again, I think it's geared towards like new players and new dungeon masters. They tell you when the floor will collapse, giving it like hit points, or at least like it can sustain this much damage. So that is good. I like this. I think because my go-to adventure, if you play Adventures League, my go-to adventure when I'm running for new players is DDAL 5-2, or also known as the Black Road. It is also like a caravan adventure, like guard the caravan adventure. And that one is so clean. It's a 2-hour adventure and easy to run. Yeah, it's 2 hours also. So it's great introduction for new players. But this one is looking like another Black Road. Like if you know, guard the caravan, fight Fae. It's for 4 hours. So if you're don't have much time, you can run the Black Road for a 2-hour adventure. If you have enough time to be with your players, your friends, then you can run this 4-hour adventures. But the Black Road, greater than Moonshae's, yeah, Black Road is very easy to DM. Yeah, so I think I can like run the Black Road without reading the adventure. So I've ran it so many times. Yeah. Anyway, so I think we have another combat. I think that's one of the like not really negative, but like minus points for this adventure, because there's a lot of combat here. And if you expose your players to a lot of combat, then they will get tired of it immediately. Especially if you have new players and you say, "Oh, so this is how you play D&D? Is just fight and fight and fight and fight and fight and fight." Okay, because even if we skip one combat, there's still gonna be a lot. Like we're in like 5 fights already without skipping one. And if we skip 1 or 2, that's gonna end up to 3. And for you to skip this, you need to roll like a DC 20 stealth, which is difficult. So yeah, there are a lot of fights. And then I'm assuming you will fight Granny as well. So there we go. Yeah, a good starting adventure should be a little sandboxy so that the players can gravitate towards the content they like. Yeah. Okay. But not too sandboxy. All right, because again, they need guides. All right, we don't want to railroad them too much, but the adventure needs to make sure that it has all the instructions the DM needs to let the players choose whatever path they want. So like the illusion of choice kind of plays out here if you're the dungeon master and you're running like low level adventure. And you need to incorporate that if you're writing an adventure like this one for low-level characters. You need to incorporate that because if you just leave it to the DM, sometimes because it becomes an open sandbox type of game, there's so many choices the players can do. And if the DM at one point might have a problem reeling the characters back into the main quest, you know. So yeah. Anyway, going back to the lore, trying to find the lore. Granny. This is where Granny spends most of her time scheming on behalf of the Great Gark. Okay, the Great Gark is introduced here, or mentioned here. The Goblin King of Noctur in the Feywild. Alright, we have this. So, in the Moonshae Isles, we have a Goblin King. And they call it the Great Gark. How awesome is that? The Great Gark was mentioned in also mentioned in MOON4-1, I think. Was it MOON4-1? Or no, was it Moon3? Yeah, I think it's MOON4-1 where we have there's like a renegade goblin who has like a stone or something, and everybody else kind of follows them and like wants to be like the next Goblin King, or wants to like remove the Great Garg and become the next Goblin King or something. So yeah, but yeah, this reinforces that the Great Gark exists here in the Moonshaes, and this hag works for the Great Gark. Man, I wanna write. I wanna write like a storyline just for like the goblins of the Moonshae. Like the politics, the like how they live, like what's their like how they serve the Great Gark, how the Great Gark treats them, and all that stuff, and then like the camaraderie between the goblins. Uh, just to get like the players, not probably the characters too, like kind of sympathize or empathize with um, the goblins and befriend them if they can. And are all goblins bad? I don't think so. And are all the goblins that follow the Great Gark bad? We'll see. So I wanna maybe in the future, but yeah, you're hearing it first. If I get the chance, I'll write like a storyline for like the goblins because I want to know what their life is like here in the Moonshaes. And okay, and like like villains just keep asking these like the Goblin King and the goblins, hey, we need minions here. Uh, how much do you charge for like mercenary work? Or like we need more guards here. We need more goblins. So just they're just like the up front. Just these are the guys that you hire first, uh, as henchmen for the villains in the Moonshaes. Anyway, going back. The tower is an old. Okay, so we have that. The same description. Smell and sound. The faint whimpering of captives in a cage. So, we have prisoners. The smell of something cooking on the fire fills the room. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Okay. I hope Granny is just cooking normal food. The stone stairs lead up to a rather cozy third floor. A lit fireplace gives a warm glow to the room. A cooking pot is on the fire, and a wonderful aroma fills the room from its contents. A large bearskin rug is in the center of the room, with a table set for three on top of it. Three four-poster beds sit along the east wall, neatly made for the coven. As you look closer, the scene starts to grow grimmer. Shelves on the wall, as well as the fireplace mantel, hold jars with various macabre items inside. One holds eyeballs, another a heart, and still another blood. From out of a dark corner steps a figure, a grimy, dirty servant girl. She addresses you in a panicked voice. Help us. The horrible old woman is going to hurt all of us. As she steps toward, a cage becomes visible in that corner. The cage has three human children inside, and they're all crying to you for help. This is not good. Okay? Wow. They're really dark. The young woman is. Oh, but we got tricked. We got tricked because the young girl is a green hag using her illusory appearance. There's also a hobgoblin bodyguard hiding in the darkness in the southeast corner. We have good perception. We'll see it. Granny is not really part of a coven. She acts. Oh, what a trickster. She acts under the ruse of being part of one to strike fear into her minions, using her illusory appearance to look like different hags. Wow. I like it. There's some there's character in this granny hag. Only her hobgoblin assistant is permitted on this level of the tower, in order to keep the lie from being revealed. The children have been taken from nearby Regent's Field to be part of Granny's experiment. Oh, wait, what? So there are still children here? I thought that was part of her illusion. From out of the dark corner steps a figure, a grimy old servant girl. Okay. But there's a different woman. Granny has no intention of leaving the characters alive. She hopes that the disguise that she has taken on will confuse the characters enough to allow the hobgoblin for a surprise round. Okay. Lore. Granny is not really part of a coven. She works for the Great Guard. Works for the Great Guard. Okay. Granny uses the ruse of a prisoner of the hag. I'm confused now. So, but there are other prisoners. There are like 3 children here. She seems scared and desperate to get out of the tower. She desperately wants the party to rescue the children as well. If revealed in her haggy glory, she's a malicious and conniving hag who enjoys watching sentient creatures suffer. Her deal with Lady Eliza is solely for convenience or preying on travelers. Okay. Come here, dearie. I have a wonderful surprise for you. Okay. I'm confused if there are like really children here as prisoners or it's just part of her illusory appearance. If the hobgoblin gains a surprise round, it uses longbow. Okay. Until engaged in melee, Granny uses vicious mockery, and then we adjust the encounter. And then here we find a scroll of hold person and a rope of climbing. After that, that's the end of the adventure. The characters return to Regent's Field to meet up with Barrent and return the children to their parents. Alright, so there are prisoners there. Okay. He is overjoyed that they have ended the threat to the caravans on the High King's Road. He promises to spread word of their exploits. That's it. I don't know if I'm happy or I'm sad that it's over. We have a rope of climbing. And then no story awards. So we learn about Lady Eliza, Kitus, and then that is it, I guess. Yeah, so Alaron, some maps. The maps are really good. The house. So which sections is she talking about? Oh, there you go. Like there are shaded parts here. If you look at number 3, like there are shaded parts on the map, and that part collapses if it takes like 50 damage or so. Okay. And then rope of climbing. Does it have like flavor? What does it look like? Oh, it looks long. So this magical rope seems to be made out of spun hair that's as yellow as corn silk. One end is roughly cut, almost as if it was hacked off. When it knots, a rope sprouts purple flowers with light pink undertones. It's a creepy item. Okay. It's a creepy item. I'm not even gonna start asking like where the hair came from. But yeah. And this is the last page of the adventure. That's it. We're done. Today is an easy day for us sages. Uh, Wool is hair. Uh, but was it made from like prisoner hair and like kids? No, right? This one, this one, this one though is very scary. So it's not specified, but you know, why can't it be animal hair? It made out of spun hair that's as yellow as corn stick. Let's name an animal with yellow fur. Cheetah, jaguar, yeah, made from what else? Lion, probably, yeah. Will there be lions, cheetah, or jaguars? Not jaguar. Yeah. Jaguar is the almost like cheetah, right? In the Forgotten Realms. All right. So it can be like a chimera, right? Axe beaks with like yeah. You know what? You're right. Okay. That makes me feel better. All right. It's just I probably have a dark mind or something like dark thoughts in my head that's making me think of those stuff. But yep, you're right. That makes sense. A yellow rock. Yep. Okay. Feathers though. Anyway, all good. So that is the end of Moon4-1 Precious Cargo. I cast Precipitation to color them yellow. That works best if you can do that. We're done. I hope we learn more about Lady Erliza and the Omnians here, and their deal with like their relationship with the Fae. Because again, if you play the Malefic Delusion storyline, you'll see more of Lady Erliza there, and hopefully this trilogy will kind of help familiarize our adventures with Lady Erliza, and her connection to the Fae. Okay, so with this we are good. I think that is like it's all part of the plan because later we'll have another stream, so we don't want to keep you here for long. Again, happening later, we will have a Lore Academia special. So if you're still awake or you sleep now and you wake up later, so that's happening 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and what else? What's that? It's 8:30 in the morning Manila time. Okay. We're going to be talking to JP Sheplo, the Moonshae Isles writing director. We're going to talk about the adventures from the 4E Living Forgotten Realms campaign in the Moonshae Isles. And yeah, first Lore Academia guest, the first high sage that we're going to talk to. So if you have questions, get them ready because yes, he's going to be answering questions for us. So get them ready. If you don't know what happened in the Living Forgotten Realms Moonshae Isle Adventures, we have our YouTube channel. All the VODs are there. And then if you have, if you want to follow, make sure you're updated about what's going on with me. There we go. That's everything. All the socials here. And then if you want to play or run this adventure, Precious Cargo, you can get it in dmsguild.com. So get it there, purchase it. I think this is a good level 1 to 4 adventure. There's a lot of combat, but there, if you're the dungeon master, there's a lot of ways for you to kind of skip some of that combat and create roleplay opportunities instead. Okay, and with that, I think we are good. Our Lore Academia stream happens every Monday to Thursday, 11 p.m. Manila, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So our next episode after the special later or tonight will be Monday next week. And yeah, so with that, we're good. Sages, I hope we learned some new stuff here. I'll see you tonight or later or in the morning. Okay? Lore Academia special. Don't forget. Join me. I need tech support, questions, and fellow sages. All right. Bye-bye, everyone. I'll see you later. Peace.